Referee Jerry Markbright presided over the chaos.
Every once in a while, I see the play on television, and I cringe every time I see it. Madden was out on the field screaming, "Did we win? Did we win?" I said, "You won."
Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. They said yes. Get your big butt out of here. He does.
They're saying it's a touchdown. You got to be kidding me.
There's nothing real in the world anymore.
If Jerry Markbright were to walk in this room right now, I'd tell him he blew it.
He was never too complimentary about my officiating.
The ball was ruled not a forward pass on a fumble by Stabler. It was kicked around and wound up in the end zone. You won't believe it.
And I'm looking at this and saying, stop it. They can't do this. This is illegal.
It was funny. It was a bending of the rules. It was just a Raider ending of all endings.
At that time, anybody could advance a forward fumble, and there was no restriction in terms of the down. There was no restriction in terms of the time.
But fumbling the ball on purpose was not allowed, something Ken Stabler was accused of doing.
From my position behind him, I have to rule fumble. I don't see any kind of action by him at all.
For nearly 30 years, Stabler supported that finding.
So it was just, answering that same old question over and over and over. Was it a fumble? Did he fumble on purpose? Was it a legitimate fumble? And you go back and look at the films over and over and over, and it was a fumble.
But new evidence has finally come to light.
You convinced us that he didn't flip that ball underhand?
No, I can't convince you of that, because I did. I mean, what else was I going to do with it? Throw it out there. Shake the dice.
This one will be relived forever.
And while the Chargers were battling the Raiders on the field, there were also several battles between fans. All that despite increased security when the Raiders are in town. 10 News reporter Matt Mendez is live at Qualcomm Stadium. Matt, security tells you they had to break up dozens of fights.
That's right. Since I last saw you at 5, I spoke to a police lieutenant with San Diego PD. He said they made 25 arrests and also threw people out of Qualcomm Stadium for fighting. But even with that amount of arrests, he says that this game wasn't as busy as years past. At previous Chargers-Raiders games, we've seen fights break out in the stands. This cell phone video captured in 2012 when police tried restraining a rowdy fan. Soon after, the entire section was cleared. And in 2010, police responded to a fight in the crowd. Then last year, this brawl happened between several men in the parking lot. These are scenes all too common for police and fans.
It's a little more intense, of course. We've got a little grudge going against them.
The Chargers have implemented a fan code of conduct and made special rules for the Raiders game specifically. Kara Adams waited in line to buy a beer toward the end of halftime.
They sold beer 2 people ahead of us, and then someone came in and just told them that they're not allowed to sell beer after halftime.
She's disappointed but understands. Before the third quarter, fans were only allowed to buy 1 beer at a time, and there was more security on hand. Ronnie Hill says he's noticed a decrease in violence.
Like 6-7 years ago, I noticed a couple, but the last 4 or 5 years I've been, and I haven't seen really any fights or anything.
10 News walked through the crowd and saw an even mix of fans. We didn't see anyone fighting, but police say they made 25 arrests and threw some people out for fighting. But even they say this year wasn't as bad as last year.
There's lots of security, and I think just everybody comes in groups nowadays. Chargers and Raiders come, they tailgate together, they sit together, and I think it makes it for a better atmosphere.
A better atmosphere that allowed Casey and her husband Ronnie to bring their son to his first game. And police say one of those fights happened in the parking lot between a group of guys. Reporting live from Qualcomm Stadium, Matt Mendez, 10 News.
Chargers and Raiders, winner of this one gets to play in L.A. next year. First Chargers possession. Billy Ribb, who threw for 503 last week. Hit drill, picked off by Malcolm Smith, former Super Bowl MVP. Gets it down to the 2-yard line where Latavius Murray would punch it in. Rivers threw for 336, 3 scores, 2 INTs on this day. Guys, Amari Cooper is a bad man.
He's a beast now.
Watch this.
And he's got a guy to get him the ball, too.
On 3rd and 14, Derek Carr. Oh! Go get it, young man. And he did. That's a gain of 44.
That defensive back should be slapped.
Well, look at this.
Oh, that's the same.
Beautiful.
That's what I mean.
So the Raiders would lead it 23-3, and then it's Carr swinging on out to Cooper.
That big lineman hunted then, baby.
Oh, right there. That move is great.
This combination.
Capital S. Special.
Guys,
did you see the lineman? Watch the lineman get out. Let's make note. Look at the big fella moving it.
Oh, all right.
Awesome move right here. Here it is. Oh, man. You can't coach that. That boy get out the bed with that, people. You ready?
5 catches, 133, and that touchdown for Cooper. And the Raiders end up winning 37-29.
How it all went down?
Yes.
Check in on the game here. We've got Charles Woodson. We know it's his last game ever at the Black Hole. It takes the field with smoke behind him. An amazing moment for him and the Raiders fans who love him like crazy. That is family posing for pictures before the game. He wasn't the only one with a memorable night, though.
No.
Latavius Murray.
Yeah, started off strong here in the first quarter and honestly continued throughout the game.
First Raiders rusher to pass the 1,000-yard mark since Darren McFadden did it in 2010. Raiders down 17-10 at halftime, though. Add 2 in the third, though. Chargers backed up on their own 6.
Phillip, you got to get rid of the football. You cannot take a safety in the end zone, Phillip. And he's a veteran. He knows this. And Ken Norton loves it.
Yeah.
He's a linebacker.
He'll take it.
Fist pump.
Yeah.
17-12 the score now. Josh Lambo looking to add to that Chargers lead here. This drive is crazy, guys.
Yes.
Field goal is good. However, flag on the field. Khalil Mack called for defensive holding.
And every coach in the NFL is going to take the penalty.
The first down.
The
Right.
first down, so they can have an opportunity to score a touchdown.
But they did take 3 points off the board.
You're supposed to.
No, you're right. You're right.
I know
I'm just
the end
saying.
result didn't come out the way you
Hey,
wanted.
look, next play, it looks like it was the right call because that right there, boom, touchdown.
But not so
Wait
fast.
for the yellow laundry.
Wait, because that was a good catch, though.
Oh, actually,
Great
no yellow
concentration,
laundry,
way to
I'm sorry.
pull it in.
It was a good catch till this.
All the San Diego
right
Chargers
there.
fans are cheering. And
All
then
scoring plays reviewed, and so
Overturned.
they
So remember, we had 3
realized that
points,
it wasn't a touchdown.
and they took it off because
And
the
now they're
first
kicking.
down, and then they missed.
Yeah. Seriously, events didn't go in the Chargers' way.
Yes.
So talk about catching a break for that team. Chargers essentially had a field goal, a touchdown, and a missed field goal on that one drive. And then the Raiders make their own
ball
luck here.
out. Mr. Malcolm Smith, the former Super Bowl MVP.
Got it out. Look at the big fella run down
Get
the
moving.
sideline. He's almost got in the end zone.
Vincent Mayowa.
I took everything out of
Yeah,
him.
Willie would have scored. I'm just saying. But watch this, Malcolm. Boink, like Peanut Tillman-esque.
Hey.
Pop that sucker out.
It's all about the ball.
And then Big Man's got some moves after that.
He got away.
Okay, so
Mr. Carr, Crabtree, touchdown. Gotcha,
that's
Lindsay.
what happens after you have a touchdown, right?
It took a
By
while.
the way, that was the Raiders' first down of the entire second half.
Yeah.
Right, and it was only about a 3-yard first down.
Went for 2. They got it. Chargers drive here. Rivers looking for Dontrell Inman, who actually got in on defense in this one. Chargers running low on DBs. The story on this play, though, is that a PI flag was drawn. So San Diego gets another set of downs. 4 plays later, Josh Lambo turns that into 3 points. And we are tied up. We are going to overtime. Charles Woodson,
It's like,
your
not
night
on
is
my
not
night.
over yet.
Not on my
Looks like
night.
I'm padding some stats now. Watch this.
All right, overtime, Raiders ball first. They need this one, 3rd and 8.
Does he get 2 catches?
No, just one, Willie.
Just
Only
one?
gets one.
Sure?
Yeah, but he gets an extra, 10 yards
That's a
rushing
big
for
play.
dragging
He gets a
players.
big play.
Yes.
Seth Roberts really worked for that one. 33 yards down to the 10-yard line.
Okay, where's Mr. Woodson?
Here's the play we've
So
been
we've
waiting
got
for
a
all
first
night
and goal
long.
We got a reverse pass. Well, potential pass, but he does the right thing and touches it.
And
He
he took a
loses
big
3
hit.
yards.
They called this the Heisman pass. He had the option to throw or to run it, and he took a loss of 3. 3 plays later, Sebastian
Seabass.
Janikowski put up 3, and the Raiders are up in overtime, 23-20.
Rivers is like, I
Remember,
got this.
the
I've done
field
this
goal
before.
doesn't win it
Right.
on the first drive in overtime, so the Chargers get an answer, chance to answer.
I mean, it was really high to Danny Woodhead, really nowhere, no one in the
4th and
vicinity.
3, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sticks route,
But either way,
trying to get the first down,
Right.
continue to drive.
Yeah, but that bath right there from Mr. Woodson's really cold. Right.
I don't
ready
think
to
he
get out of
minded
there.
it very much
Not
on
at
this particular night. Raiders winning a flag-filled game in which they had as many accepted penalties as first down.